first grade when I first started taking my medicine.
Uh-huh.
This is a book I was writing.
Oh.
And you can see right in the middle is when I take my medicine that my handwriting absolutely changes. Me personally, I found
Wow, chapter 12 and 13 began to change.
Yeah. I found that like medicine has helped me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting to know that like
How wonderful.
that there's other options for people if medicine doesn't work.
And medicine, it's not like it doesn't work or not. You have to know what does it work on and what your goals are and how you change it around. So basically what was going on from the first one, it's fascinating because it's so my handwriting sometimes gets like that too, even now. I'm not, I don't take medication at this point. But what happens is that you're thinking faster than you can write. So like my handwriting becomes illegible. I'm actually a good calligrapher. If I take my time, I can write beautifully, script well. But when I'm writing, it's just stream of consciousness and it's faster.
Right.
So when I dictate, it goes a different way. And so yeah, it tells you that this is your raw stage of the brain, which is, there's nothing, that's why another mistake is that if somebody else saw you, or if a bad teacher said that this is something about your intelligence, it has nothing to do with that. It's just a mismatch. Your brain is going faster, and then for you to take time to write it down is a waste of time in appearance to you. Yeah, this is really a good indication. So again, this person versus that person in a less supportive environment, and that's why I think psychosocial approaches and awareness of ADHD is also important, because I think poor nutrition, bad parenting, alcohol and substance abuse, if your family was infested with all that, no one would pay attention to you, and then you would be following this, developing a poor self-image, and instead of doing that, you would follow a different way of solving this problem. So this is really a good indication how beneficial, the treatments have been with you. The other thing is that a sense of disappointment, like I have tried medicines and they changed and all that stuff, you got to remember functioning of the brain is dynamic. This doesn't mean that the system failed you. It just means that it's an organic process, things change, and you're smart enough to sort of look for the best treatments at the time you need it. Because as sometimes, people say, well, how come if you have ADD? I have a lot of young doctors or lawyers. They have never been diagnosed with their ADD. And till much later, in their late 20s, as they're getting promotions or getting to a point. Well, the point is that sometimes the ADD, if you have a very nice support system around it, like if somebody says, we don't worry about handwriting anymore, don't worry about it, go run. So you wouldn't be treated. Till later, you had to write a term paper or, manage that big camera there. And you would say, I can't focus on this. It has nothing to do with support or not. That's when you would come and get help. So we have people like lawyers who are going for partnership and they keep failing because at that point, tasks are too big to put together. To manage. Or a lot of doctors finish medical school perfectly well, got great grades, but now with the electronic records and stuff, they have to keep track of so many things and they're distracted all the time. They sit around and instead of that, and they're playing with their Twitter account or Snapchat or something like that instead of finishing the task. So thanks for sharing that. That means a lot, and it also shows how successful you've been with stuff.
I gotta thank my parents for that.
Yeah.
For sending this.
But at the same time, if every once in a while, my suggestion, I'm not acting as a doctor with you, but sometimes it's also nice to know what you are under, how you can go crazy with it without treatment. You know what I mean? And so you might say that, I'm focusing by dancing and going nuts and climbing and letting myself in different ways. So again, I don't want you to translate that somehow you're broken and this fixes you. It's more like a tool that allows you to do the things you need to do in a successful way, in a better way, with the current career choices and stuff. And of course, career choice is very important. If you do certain things that allows you a lot more creativity and you're not stuck by time and everything, that's a lot more practical for an ADD, as opposed to like if you have to have a 9-to-5 job and everything's determined and you sit in meetings that are 5 hours. Like that to me is hell.